21:45 hours. April 25th, 2026. 1914, Connecticut Avenue, Northwest. The Washington Hilton ballroom erupted into pure deafening chaos as one 12-gauge shotgun blast shattered the absolute security perimeter of the United States executive branch. Radar screens do not detect this kind of threat. 38 high-speed attack boats did not swarm the Potomac River. Instead, one single man sprinted past the heavily armed federal barricade. He crashed through the designated magnetometer screening area. He raised his weapon near the historic ballroom staircase. He pulled the trigger. One elite Secret Service agent went down hard. The kinetic force of the blast slammed into his tactical bullet-resistant vest. That Level 3 armor plate was the only thing standing between the Republic and total constitutional collapse. He survived, but the damage was already done. The perimeter was breached. The unthinkable had unfolded live on national television. But here is what nobody tells you about that exact moment. Run the numbers with me. The United States Secret Service operates on one annual budget exceeding $3 billion. They deploy over 3,000 highly trained special agents. They utilize advanced threat detection systems, encrypted communications, and counter-assault teams armed with SR-16 rifles. On the other side of this equation was Cole Thomas Allen, 31 years old, one part-time teacher from Torrance, California. His operation did not cost billions. His operation cost the price of one cross-country train ticket and one box of 12-gauge shotgun shells. For every single dollar the enemy spent, American taxpayers spent millions to defend the Capitol. And yet the defense failed. The perimeter collapsed in exactly 14 seconds. 14 seconds. That is all it took to transform one perfectly secured presidential event into one catastrophic tactical nightmare. 5,000 American sailors project power across the globe, but they cannot secure one hotel lobby in their own capital. This is not just one security failure. This is one glaring signal to every foreign adversary watching. And that was the moment everything changed. Inside the ballroom, the reaction was instantaneous but desperate. Secret Service agents immediately rushed Vice President J.D. Vance off the main stage. Seconds later, another heavily armed protective detail swarmed President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump. They dragged the commander-in-chief through the emergency egress routes. The entire chain of command was under direct kinetic fire. Think about that for 1 second. The two highest-ranking officials in the United States government were fleeing from one active shooter inside the most heavily guarded city on Earth. If the assailant had been carrying one explosive device instead of one shotgun, the entire executive branch would have been decapitated in one single moment. The Secret Service counter-assault team locked down the perimeter, their weapons raised, scanning the panicked crowd for secondary shooters. They did not know if this was one isolated incident or the opening salvo of one massive coordinated strike. What they did not know was that the real threat extends far beyond the walls of the Washington Hilton. Look closer at the tactical execution of this breach. Police reported that Allen did not just bring one shotgun, he was armed to the teeth. He carried the 12-gauge shotgun, one .38 caliber semi-automatic handgun, and multiple combat knives. This was not some spontaneous act of protest. This was one deliberate, heavily armed assault on the core of the American government. He bypassed the outer security perimeter. He ignored the armed agents. He sprinted directly through the magnetometer screening area. The alarm screamed, but he was already inside. He exchanged direct gunfire with Secret Service agents near the ballroom staircase. The sheer violence of the exchange left one federal agent wounded and the nation in shock. The agent was treated at one local hospital and released hours later, his life saved by synthetic fibers and ceramic plates. But the psychological armor of the nation was shattered. This was not one simple security breach. This was one kinetic demonstration of ultimate vulnerability. But the Pentagon did not send any reinforcements. Why? Who exactly is Cole Thomas Allen? He is 31 years old. He is one former engineering student. He is one video game designer. He is one part-time teacher from Torrance, California. He does not fit the profile of one highly trained foreign operative. He does not have military special forces training. Yet, he managed to penetrate the most secure building in Washington on that specific night. Minutes before the attack, Allen sent his written manifesto to family members. He explicitly identified himself as the friendly federal assassin. He outlined deep, violent grievances against Trump administration policies. He believed his actions were justified. He believed he could single-handedly alter the course of American history. He almost succeeded. The tactical precision of his assault suggests months of meticulous planning. He mapped the routes. He studied the security protocols. He knew exactly where the magnetometers would be placed. He knew the layout of the ballroom staircase. This level of operational intelligence is terrifying. And here is the truly disturbing part. The timeline of his movement reveals one massive intelligence failure. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche stated that Allen booked his room at the Washington Hilton weeks in advance. He did not fly. Flying leaves one massive digital footprint. Flying requires passing through strict federal security checkpoints. Instead, he chose the railway. He traveled by train from Los Angeles, California to Chicago, Illinois. From Chicago, he boarded another train directly to Washington, District of Columbia. 2,600 miles of undetected travel across the American homeland. He carried his weapons, his ammunition, and his manifesto across state lines without triggering one single federal alarm. The Federal Bureau of Investigation did not track him. The Department of Homeland Security did not flag him. He moved like one ghost through the system. This exposes one critical vulnerability in our domestic defense posture. If one part-time teacher can move an arsenal across the country completely undetected, what stops one highly trained foreign sabotage unit from doing the exact same thing? Run the numbers with me again. On Monday, April 27th, the reality of the situation crystallized inside one federal courtroom. Allen appeared before United States Magistrate Judge Matthew Sharbaugh. He was wearing one standard blue prison jumpsuit. The man who nearly brought down the American government looked entirely ordinary. But the charges read against him were anything but ordinary. He faces federal charges of attempting to assassinate the President of the United States. He faces 2 counts of using one firearm during one crime of violence. He faces 1 count of assaulting one federal officer with one dangerous weapon. Judge Sharbaugh immediately ordered him detained without bail. The courtroom was heavily guarded, swarming with federal marshals. The tension was palpable. The government knows how close they came to total disaster. Prosecutor Jocelyn Ballantyne stood before the court and delivered one chillingly clear statement. She said he attempted to assassinate the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. There was no ambiguity. There was no hesitation. This was one direct strike at the crown. But look closer at the official response. United States Attorney for the District of Columbia. Janine Pirro did not mince words. She stated that this individual was intent on doing as much harm and as much damage as he could. He wanted blood. He wanted chaos. He wanted to break the system. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt characterized the terrifying reality of the current political environment. She confirmed this is the 3rd major assassination attempt against Donald Trump since the year 2024. 3 major kinetic strikes against one single political figure in less than 2 years. The security apparatus is blinking red. The system is overloaded. The Secret Service is stretched to its absolute breaking point. They are fighting one asymmetric war on their own soil. Every single public appearance is one roll of the dice. Every single rope line is one potential kill zone. The enemy only has to get lucky one time. The Secret Service has to be perfect every single time. That is one bankrupt strategy. No nation on earth can afford to win that way. Now, we must address the most dangerous question of all. Are foreign assassins operating inside the United States? The immediate assumption was foreign involvement. The geopolitical climate is boiling over. Iran has openly vowed revenge for past military strikes. Chinese maritime militias are testing American resolve in the Pacific. Russian intelligence operatives are conducting sabotage across Europe. So, when gunfire erupts at the Washington Hilton, the intelligence community immediately looks overseas. Despite the intense speculation of foreign assassins, President Trump stated the suspect appeared to be one lone wolf. But when asked directly about potential links to Iran, his response sent shockwaves through the defense establishment. He said he did not think so, but you never know. But you never know. Those 4 words summarize the terrifying reality of modern asymmetric warfare. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has actively plotted to assassinate former United States officials on American soil. The Department of Justice has unsealed multiple indictments detailing these exact plots. They hire hitmen. They use proxies. They exploit our open society. What they did not know was that the blueprint had just been handed to them. If you are sitting in Tehran, Beijing, or Moscow, you are watching the footage from the Washington Hilton on one continuous loop. You are analyzing the response time of the Secret Service. You are studying the exact layout of the magnetometer checkpoints. You are noting how easily one untrained civilian with one shotgun breached the inner perimeter. This incident is not just one domestic crime. It is one massive geopolitical vulnerability. American power projection relies entirely on the stability of its command structure. If the commander-in-chief can be targeted so easily at home, the credibility of American deterrence abroad evaporates. How can the United States guarantee the security of the Taiwan Strait if it cannot secure Connecticut Avenue? How can the Pentagon project confidence in the South China Sea when the executive branch is dodging shotgun blasts in their own capital? The adversaries are taking notes. They realize they do not need to build billion-dollar aircraft carriers to strike at the heart of American power. They just need one willing proxy, one train ticket, and one momentary lapse in security. This was not the first time the Washington Hilton witnessed this exact nightmare. Remember 1981? President Ronald Reagan was shot just outside this very same hotel. The history of this location is soaked in blood, but this time is different. In 1981, the shooter waited outside. In 2026, the shooter violently breached the interior perimeter. The tactics are escalating. The audacity of the attackers is growing. The security apparatus must evolve or face catastrophic failure. The Secret Service cannot rely on static perimeters anymore. The threat matrix has expanded beyond anything they were originally designed to handle. They are no longer just fighting lone wolves with political grievances. They are fighting one environment where the line between domestic radicalization and foreign state-sponsored terrorism is completely blurred. Foreign intelligence agencies do not need to send their own operatives. They just need to radicalize, fund, or equip domestic actors who are already willing to pull the trigger. This is the new face of warfare. It does not happen on the battlefield. It happens in the ballroom. When the shots rang out, the ripples were felt all the way to the Pentagon. The National Military Command Center immediately elevated its situational awareness. If the president and vice president are both incapacitated, the continuity of government protocols are triggered. The military must prepare for potential opportunistic strikes by foreign adversaries during the chaos. The strategic nuclear deterrent must remain absolute. The combatant commanders across the globe must lock down their theaters. One single shotgun blast in Washington can alter the readiness level of nuclear submarines patrolling the deep waters of the Atlantic. The interconnected nature of global security means that domestic instability directly degrades international deterrence. The adversaries know this. They understand that the cheapest way to neutralize the American military machine is to paralyze its political leadership. The cost asymmetry is staggering. One single bullet could achieve what thousands of ballistic missiles could never guarantee: the collapse of American strategic focus. And that is exactly what the unseen enemies are hoping for. We must talk about the gear that prevented one national tragedy. The Secret Service agent who took the direct hit was wearing one specialized tactical bullet-resistant vest. This is not standard police-issue armor. This is highly engineered ballistic protection designed to stop high-velocity rounds and heavy buckshot. The 12-gauge shotgun fired at close range delivers devastating kinetic energy. Without that vest, the agent would have been killed instantly. The breach would have remained open. The shooter would have had one clear line of sight to the main stage. That vest, manufactured with advanced synthetic fibers and ceramic trauma plates, absorbed the shockwave of the blast. It dispersed the kinetic energy across the chest, saving the agent's life and buying the counter-assault team the precious seconds they needed to neutralize the threat. Technology saved the Republic on that Saturday night. But we cannot rely on Kevlar to solve one systemic security crisis. Armor only works after the perimeter has already failed, and the perimeter is failing far too often. We are standing on the edge of one very dangerous precipice. The attack on April 25, 2026, was one glaring warning siren. Cole Thomas Allen may have acted alone. He may be the lone wolf the administration claims he is, but his actions have exposed the soft underbelly of the American security apparatus. The gates can be breached. The magnetometers can be bypassed. The agents can be shot. The highest-ranking officials in the land can be forced to flee for their lives. This is the reality of the modern threat landscape. The third major assassination attempt since 2024 proves that the current defensive posture is simply not enough. The foreign assassins might not have pulled the trigger this time, but they are watching. They are learning. They are waiting for the perfect moment to exploit the very vulnerabilities that Cole Thomas Allen just broadcast to the entire world. The clock is ticking. The next attack will not come from one part-time teacher. It will come from highly trained professionals. Are we truly ready for what comes next? The harsh reality is that our current national security apparatus is fundamentally broken. We rely on outdated protocols designed for a bygone era, ignoring the sophisticated digital networks that adversaries use to map our blind spots. Every camera feed, every unguarded rooftop, and every delayed radio transmission serves as a blueprint for those aiming to dismantle our leadership. We must demand immediate congressional oversight into the Secret Service's operational failures. Transparency cannot be sacrificed on the altar of institutional pride. If we continue to accept redacted reports and evasive press conferences, we are practically inviting the next tragedy. Citizens must remain vigilant, questioning the official narratives handed down by bureaucratic spokespeople who prioritize damage control over public safety. The entire perimeter has been breached, both physically and psychologically. Until we demand total accountability and overhaul these compromised defensive systems, the shadow of danger will only grow darker.